How to play May. Disney's Frozen features the 250 health damage hero May, an climate scientist from China who is Overwatch's resident meteorologist. Much like Elsa, May has total control over all things snow and ice, and that is reflected in her kit. Let's break it down. May's primary weapon is the endothermic blaster, or more fun, the freeze ray. Unlike Overwatch 1, May's gun does not completely freeze enemies. However, when dealing damage with primary fire, enemies will be slowed. Without the help of their teammates, enemies who do not have movement abilities will likely die. Use this knowledge to your advantage when playing May if you are playing a character like Zenyatta. Fight back, don't try to flee. The freeze ray deals high damage per second with primary fire at close range, meaning tanks and brawly damage characters that lack immune disengagement tools like Reaper's Wraith form will be subject to swift death. This can be compounded with the use of May's signature ability, the Great Wall of China. May's Ice Wall can be used in obvious fashion to keep the Hanzos out of the point or taking away long angles, but proficient May players will use this tool to trap that tank! May is a massive counter to low mobility tanks like Zarya, Sigma, Roadhog, and Ramatra. All of these tanks lack the ability to swiftly skirt the wall, allowing May and frontline teammates, notably friendly Roadhogs, Doomfists, Divas, or Reinhardts, to punish the tank. The wall will block any line of sight healing from the other side, and require enemies to break it or walk around it to assist. Pairing this with primary fire, or if truly trapped, secondary fire, May can send Prince Hans back to spawn. Speaking of secondary fire, the alternate use of freeze ray turns May into the fourth best sniper in the game. Sorry Hanzo, the May icicles travel faster. Bonking a Widow with an icicle to the noggin from afar or finishing off low health targets at a distance is incredibly useful and should not be ignored. May should almost always be using secondary fire towards enemies if she is not within range to use primary fire. May can frozone herself to gain back health and ammo and become completely invincible for a brief period, barring she wasn't knocked into a void somewhere. She will still die to that. Ice Block can also be used to keep enemies out of tight doorways or even blocking Diva Bombs on rare occasions. Typically, however, it is seen as a defensive tool for May rather than the whole team. The Great Wall is typically the better tool used for this, and well-timed ones can save teammates from Roadhog hooks or even Widow headshots. May's ultimate turns everyone into Jack Torrance from The Shining, provided they are within its fairly wide radius. Players will be completely frozen and unable to move, provided that they are not cleansed by Kiriko or able to escape before freeze fully goes through. The ult is a perfect time to break out the secondary fire and get to work farming headshots on immobile targets, a specialty known well by every Silver Widowmaker player. The deep freeze is best used in the center of capture points when enemies are heavily grouped or through high-trafficked pathways that prevent an enemy from contesting the point, particularly in overtime. While May's playstyle doesn't fully require a brawl-type comp to succeed, the more people you have assisting your wall separations, the better. A Reinhardt in particular will turn it from the Great Wall of China to the Berlin Wall real quick. I like to think that in general, May doesn't hard counter too many damage or support characters outside of maybe Zenyatta or Brigitte, and also isn't countered by too much herself. With good enough tracking, May players can put pressure on airborne targets such as Pharah, enough to keep them from leaving her alone, and generally can get enough value out of playing out of line of sight of characters like Widow or Hanzo, or even keep them out of sight herself with the use of her wall. Control point and first point chokes on hybrid maps are typically the places she'll find the most success. Be mindful of your health. Don't be afraid to use your heal liberally, and be mindful if teammates need your wall for their safety, not just your own. Get out there and ice, maybe win some games. If you enjoyed this more casual, jokey, yet informative style, let me know in the comments down below. If not, let me know what I can do better. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll keep making more of these.
Peace.